All right, welcome to Rotary. Happy to be here on a Thursday. Too bad we're not in person, but Zoom's, we're still getting used to it. I think we're all getting burnt out, but we're here, ready to see each other in person. We should start the way we always do with the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun? I think it's fun, don't you guys? All right, let's get started. Ron, do you care to lead us in prayer, please?
Yes, please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful spring weather, the warmth that leads to the spring resurgence and beautiful blooms that we are starting to see. We ask that you continue to provide guidance to the leaders of Rotary and to all the great organizations in town, especially the Henderson Christian Community Outreach, for all the wonderful things that they do. We ask that you help us lead to continue in your service, and we thank you for all our blessings and ask that you help us to share those blessings with those in need. And we ask that you help us get this virus behind us so we can get together in fellowship and celebration of your good deeds. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ron. I will have a few people to let in real quick. And thank you again, Ron, for everything you did for the dictionaries. That worked out perfect.
My pleasure. It's always a lot more fun to actually do it in person, but I'm glad we got the books to them, and we'll hopefully get back in person next year.
Absolutely, I hope so. But you and Mike did a great job on that video. So without the virus this year, we wouldn't have the video to last forever.
Yeah, it wasn't that great, and it took us 10 takes to do that, but so hopefully it'll work.
Yeah, I think it worked perfect. Thank you. All right, Alex, do you care to introduce your guest and our member spotlight?
Sure, yes. Good afternoon, President Amber and fellow Rotarians. Very excited to have Brad Staten with us today for our Rotary member spotlight. Brad was actually the president of the club. We found out when I was a student ambassador, and I remember meeting Brad when everyone was meeting at Worsham Hall at that time. So there's our history. And Ron was standing up talking about dictionaries even at that point 10 plus years ago. So thank you, Ron, for your service on that. But we're very excited to have Commissioner Brad Staten with us. And Brad, I'll kick it over to you.
Well, thank you, Alex. And thank you all for doing a spotlight on me this week. I am going to do my best from here on out to feel less like a guest of the Rotary Club. I have been very distant since we started the Zoom meetings, and for no real good reason, to be honest, other than I'm just an old fuddy-duddy who likes in-person meetings. And but I have always appreciated being a part of Rotary. You can read a little bit about my biography on the member spotlight on the Rotary page, but I did want to share a story about Rotary with everyone here. When I started, there was a gentleman, and many of you are going to remember him, and many of you won't. His name was Herb Hoffman, and he was, I think at the time, he might have been in his late 80s, creeping up on 90 years old, and he was a client of mine, and he would always ask me to come to Rotary. And finally I did, and I sat at a table with him and Tom Lett and Jim Tillotson and Mildred Bassett and Stephen Borg the first 2 years or so that I was in Rotary. And sadly, many of them are not with us today. But the one thing that I did want to say about Herb is not only did I come to Rotary, but I let him drive me to Rotary. And I didn't find out until maybe a few months after I let him drive me a few times to Rotary that he really shouldn't have been driving. And so I'm very thankful that not only he invited me to Rotary, but I'm also thankful that I lived through letting him drive me to Rotary as well. Over the years, we've been able to do a lot of good, and I hope we can continue to do so. And I'm just proud to be a member of such a great organization. And thank you for having me here today.
Thank you, Brad. Great job. And President Amber, I do have a guest to introduce. Reverend Charles Johnson is with us, and Reverend Johnson is the pastor of the Greater Norris Chapel Baptist Church and the executive director of the Human Relations Commission, and a past Rotarian and hopefully a future Rotarian. So, yeah. Reverend Johnson, feel free to say hello.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good to see everyone. And my sentiments to, I'm coming in a little late. I had some connection issues, but thank you for the invite, Alex, and looking forward to trying to get started back with the Rotary. When I used to meet at the old Wolf's Banquet Hall, and great information and certainly great lunches that day, and the connection. And so I remember Brother Herb, and he was very helpful to me. Those were many years ago. So I'm looking forward to the dialogue and the network with everyone. So, and as I scan outside, I'm just about on Zoom weekly with Miss Lori Tuggle up there. We're just about weekly on Zoom for something through the chamber. So good to see everyone.
Well, thank you very much, and we hope you join us. And hopefully, we're in person May, June timeframe, and we'll be able to see you. All right, student ambassadors, can you tell us your name and what your plans are after graduating?
Hi, I'm Madison Williams. I'm going to Murray State, and my major is going to be in the pre-pharmacy field.
Hi, I'm Addison McClarney, and I'm going to USI, but I am still undecided on my major at this point.
Hi, my name is Luke Payne, and I'll be attending Murray State University, and I'll be majoring in journalism.
Hello, my name is Addie Stone, and I'm going to the University of Indianapolis to major in psychology.
Hi, my name is Caroline Galbraith. I'll be going to the University of Kentucky to major in physical therapy.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations, and we're happy that you're with us. Just to let you know that our scholarships are open. The deadline is April 15th, and we will be giving out 7 $1,000 scholarships. So if you have any questions or anything, you can reach out to one of us. Thank you again for joining us. Just a few announcements. Our March month of service is the Henderson County baseball team. We're collecting money and matching whatever is raised. The total cost of the pitching machine is $3,300, and you can mail in a check or donate to our Square account. This needs to be done by the end of this month. Again, as you heard earlier, we have happy hour tonight, so grab a drink and click on the link. The link will be emailed out a little bit later today. It's tonight at 5, and we hope to join you. And Miss Lori, do you have our trivia question for today?
I sure do. Okay, everybody, unmute yourselves and be ready to shout out the answer to today's trivia question. Name the state which is the birthplace of the cheeseburger.
Pennsylvania.
Illinois.
No.
Wisconsin.
No, this shocked me. That's why I picked this one. You're all
Kentucky.
No. Colorado. Hey, it's on the internet. It must be true.
Thank
And
you.
that is today's trivia question.
Perfect. All right, Miss Kelsi, you're up. Take over.
Right, I'm gonna figure out how to share my screen. I told you I knew how. I just got to think for a minute. So while I'm figuring it out, I'm Kelsi Dunham. I'm Mary Dunham's daughter, and I graduated Georgetown in May and took on a position here at Outreach with the AmeriCorps program. I have been here doing housing services since I guess August, when the pandemic started, or was in the midst. And I am so excited to be here. I told Jennifer Andrews that we would be glad to do the Rotary on the 25th, and I said and apparently somehow it got down to me, and Mom said go for it. So here we are. But Christian Outreach has been in town for 35 years now, and we have not missed a day since the pandemic started in May. March. Thanks, Mom. Our purpose We're a special ministry. We do not apologize for being a ministry. We respond with dignity and concern to families whose urgent needs for food, housing, and medication are not being met. The organization was founded in 1963 with St. Paul's Episcopal, Chapel Hill, and First United Methodist being the founding members. And they just came together to find a common way to serve a need here in Henderson County with rent and utility assistance, medication, and most importantly, our number one priority is food. So, groceries. We are a food pantry, number one. We are available to Henderson County families every 30 days. We do have income guidelines that we follow. Those are provided to us by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And right now, they did send out COVID guidelines, so the income requirements are a little bit higher. So if anyone knows any family that needs a little bit of help, I know Alex sent me a message the other day. We are here to serve anyone in need. We're open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and the third Saturday of the month. And we are only open from 9 to 11 on those days. However, we serve about 40 families in those 2 hours every day. I'm gonna scooch along. These are the food orders that our families receive. We say groceries. We make this a very personal experience for anyone that walks through our doors. For a family size of 1 to 2, you're going to receive about $135 worth of groceries. A family size of 3 to 4, it's going to be $150 worth of groceries. And a family size of 5 or more, it's going to be $170. This does not include any of the extras that we give that we just randomly have. Sometimes we have like bags of chips, extra sweets, fresh produce, anything like that. So it is a very nice grocery list that our families get to shop off of. We do not hand anything to our families. They get to pick everything for themselves off of our shelf. We make it a very personal experience. They have reusable shopping bags that they bring in. And it's more personable for them rather than just getting stuff thrown in a box and handed to them. So I saw Ron Fopple on here. We have so many food partners that we can't even picture them all, show them all. We are part of the Tri-State Food Bank Feeding America program. We get money from, or groceries from Walmart, anything that's getting close to that sell by date, but not, we wouldn't put anything on our shelf that we would not eat ourselves. So we pick up Walmart 3 times a week. Sure-Way stamps, if you have Sure-Way stamps, we would love your Sure-Way stamps. In the 5-6 years we've been doing the Sure-Way stamp program, we've gotten about $6,600 from it, which goes, we purchase ham, turkeys around Thanksgiving for our families to put in those baskets. We recently just had a 500 food box giveaway. I know the Salvation Army is doing the same with the USDA Farmer to Families program. These are cold boxes, no requirement other than you need this box of food. We do a drive through out at Community Baptist, and we got rid of, I think we had almost 700, about 660 boxes that we got rid of in 2 hours. It was incredible. The fire department was there. The police department was there helping. We all know Ron Fopple and Henderson Chevy does an awesome food drive around Christmas time for us. They brought 2 truckloads this past season. Tyson is a huge supporter. I know a lot of you all bought some of our chicken tickets. Thank you. That all went to our building fund. And Tyson, anytime we call them, let them know, hey, we're getting a little low on meat. Sweet Robin out there says, oh, no worries. And within a day, we've got our freezers full again. So that's a great partnership. Schools, Dollar General, Thornton's, Casey's, all of these agent or partners with us to make sure our shelves are always full. Big Lots is another big one. We get toys, groceries, a little bit of everything. And we can't say thank you to our community enough. So on top of 40 food orders every day. And on top of giving out amazing USDA Farmers to Table box, we also are the Henderson County site for the Senior Commodity Program. This is available every second Tuesday of the month and the following Wednesday to 300 seniors. We have 300 slots in Henderson. And this is a program that seniors apply for. And once a month, they just drive through. You can see our amazing volunteers in the back. I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see what I'm pointing at. But our amazing volunteers load you up. We sign your card and we say, we'll see you next month. It's an incredible program. We love everyone that comes through. We get to talk to everyone. And it is a very nice box for some of the seniors that necessarily can't come in here and shop for themselves anymore. With the senior commodities, we deliver to Pleasant Point, St. Joe Apartments, Red Banks Towers, and Red Banks Regency. And then the Housing Authority in Henderson comes and picks up about 50 boxes as well. So we make sure that if someone doesn't have a way to get out or someone to pick it up for them, that they still get what they need. So if anyone's looking for a volunteer opportunity, again, second Tuesday and the following Wednesday, we are kind of looking for some extra hands to get those boxes to the seniors that are kind of shut in or can't get out. So not only are we an incredible food pantry, we also provide funding assistance. Publicly, it's $100 in a 2-year period. However, 2020 was not a year like anything we've ever seen before. So, see where she was going. And every case is case to case. We provide assistance for utilities, rent, medication. Unfortunately, we know Henderson County does have an issue with narcotics and painkillers, so we do not provide assistance for those. And then emergency gas for out-of-town doctor's visits. For some of our families, it is heartbreaking when they have to decide between their insulin or groceries, or if their child can have their asthma medication that month, or if they can go buy a loaf of bread. So we do help with those expenses that come along with it. Any of our funding, we do require the Bank on Henderson class. And that we all know Miss Susan Sauls and the Volunteer and Information Center has put together that incredible program, and we love it. We teach on Wednesdays at noon. Myself, Darlene, Connie Grossman, and Susan Sauls are usually the teachers here. So we have a blast with that. My book's falling apart over here. I said I might have to get a new book because mine's got holes in it now. But we love having that program here. And we encourage all of our families, even if you don't need assistance, please get that renewed every year because it is such a great class. Utility assistance. So we work with City of Henderson and Kenergy. We do have a voucher system with them. And then Atmos, Kentucky Utilities, and rarely like another one, but most Southern States was one that we saw. However, we do not give any money to any of the families that come in and ask for assistance. We mail our check or we use the voucher system. And you can see from our fun little chart, we actually went down a little bit in 2020. And that was because we were able to go a little above that $100 mark to help our families keep their electric on. And there were no shutoffs in 2020. So unfortunately, we're seeing a little bit now that some of our friends didn't keep up with that bill, and now we're playing catch up in 2021. Another huge shout out to Henderson Municipal Power and Light. In 2019, they gave Christian Community Outreach $26,000 to help with electric and utility expenses for our families. And in 2020, they gave us $56,000. So that was an incredible partnership, and that helped us keep a lot of lights on for our families. We also do rent assistance, and all of our checks are made payable to the landlord. And we also ask that our families fill have their landlord fill out our rent assistance sheet. And this goes to help us get FEMA aid and any other grants because we have that information. But you can see in 2020, we shot up to 316 families we helped keep in their homes. And it was just a weird year for any type of assistance for us. And again, we did get to go above that $100 mark thanks to the generosity of our community. It was a rough year. Some days we don't even remember what all we did. But we were able to serve over 9,000 families in 2020. We did go to Carside for a few months, March to June. We did clean religiously. We take temperatures every day, but we are still able to serve. I don't know how we do it sometimes, but it is incredible. We do have about 100 volunteers every month that are in here as your personal shopper, your interviewer, just a person to talk to. So 9,000 families in 2020. Get ready to cringe because we all kind of cringed whenever we saw the jumps from 2019 to 2020 in our financials. Our food purchases, we actually got to up our food orders in 2020. That way our families can make their groceries that they get from here last a little bit longer in the month. So that's where that kind of extra expense came from. In rent assistance, remember we went from about 200 families to 316, but we were able to go above the $100 mark. So we went up 156% in spending. Utilities, $50,000 to keep lights on for our families. Prescriptions were the only one that went down. And we will say a huge thank you to Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have a rep in here at least once a week, working with our families, talking with our families, because you can have Medicare, Medicaid, but you have to have that secondary plan to help with the medicine costs. So we want to say a huge thank you to them. I'm going to skip emergency lodging just for the second, but emergency gas. So some of our families have to go to Nashville, Louisville, Indianapolis, even Evansville for doctor's appointments. And that can be a struggle if you've got an older vehicle or you just don't have that extra money to put gas in your car to make it to these appointments. We have to see your appointment card and we can give you a gas voucher to get to that appointment. We use Palmer's here in Henderson. And then miscellaneous expenses, that could be, we're working with a family that really needed to have an electrician come out to their house. So they went out there, we paid that bill or anything like that. Going back to emergency lodging, we went up 815% in 2020. Anyone that asks for a hotel room from Christian Outreach is required to take a drug test. We don't do it to be nasty. We do it because we want to see you clean and being successful outside of living in the hotels. Another reason, whenever COVID was so new and so unforeseen, a lot of families were already kind of bouncing around, living in shelters or kind of sleeping on couches here and there. And a lot of people didn't want extra people in their house. So where are they going to stay? Or shelters weren't taking any new people in. Where were they going to go? We couldn't leave people on the streets. Right now, we are partnered with Father Bradley. They do require a COVID test before they take anyone in. So if you're a woman that's trying to get into the shelter and turn their life around, what are you going to do for those 3 days while your COVID test comes back? So that's where that number kind of jumps. So those numbers that we just talked about had absolutely nothing to do with the Henderson Employee Relief Fund. The Henderson Employee Relief Fund was started by a lot of our Rotary friends in April of 2020 to kind of help those employees that were laid off unexpectedly. So we had 768 applicants, 726 of those were funded, and only 190 of those were current HCCO clients. So anyone that had come in the last 2 years to get groceries or assistance, 190 of 768. We were able to help with rent or mortgage payments for 471 of those, 234 utility payments, and 21 other needs. So car insurance, car payments, groceries, stuff like that. In all, we gave $397,000 back to Henderson County. It was an incredible program. Again, Mom and I do not remember pretty much the end of March, any of April, most of May. June, we can kind of see. But it was a very rewarding experience for Christian Outreach. We have a lot of people that come in and they say, you helped me pay my mortgage. I bought groceries for you this month or something like that. And it's incredible. I was going to say something else and I lost my train of thought. Here's our fun and exciting news. We were gifted a plot of land in 2019, and it will be on 5th Street, facing 5th Street, right in between Ingram and Adams. And we are breaking ground on Good Friday. So that is next Friday. We pride ourselves on serving God by serving others. And that is our mission in Henderson Christian Community Outreach. So we invite all of you to come out at 10 o'clock next Friday to join us in celebrating this long awaited day. But we are starting here at our current location at 9 a.m. to do a prayer walk over. It is a little less than 2 blocks, so you're not going to have to put on your hiking boots. But it'll be super fun. We are all so excited. Mayor Austin will be speaking. Brad Schneider will be speaking. A lot of fellow Rotarians will be there, so we'd love to see you all. Our capital campaign committee has been formed. A few of them are on this call, and they are working tirelessly to build this dream home for Christian Outreach. It is going to be about 5,800 square feet versus the 3,400 that we're working with here. So we cannot wait. So that's actually all I have. I've got another quick little announcement that Mom slid me. We do have 2 more food distributions coming up, April 5th at Community Baptist and Wednesday, April 28th. And these are from 9 to 11. If anyone wants to come hang out, I know Mark Chumbler, I assume he's on here, I don't know. He came out last month to our giveaway and we had so many volunteers. He said, I guess I'll have to just go back to work. We will not send anyone back to work this time, so please come out and see us. And it is such a fun day. But right now we are at 700 North Green. Stop by, say hey. We're here until about 3 o'clock every day. Our emails are pretty easy, first name, last name, and check out our website. We just got a website and it looks incredible. Thank you, David Mash. Thank you, Kathy Patton, for editing the heck out of it. But check us out there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And does anyone have any questions?
Kelsi, in addition to every other incredible thing that you all do, you forgot to mention that you opened your doors for us at the Volunteer and Information Center every Wednesday night so that we could have a satellite tax-free tax site there at your place. And you were so kind and so generous with all your space and your time, and we're so grateful for that. So it's another great partnership that we have with Christian Community Outreach. So thank you all very much.
We love Susan Sauls. We love the Volunteer and Information Center. They did use us as a tax site this year, and we hope to continue that partnership, especially in the new building where there'll be private rooms. Lori will be so excited not to be sitting in the middle of the lobby. But we make the best of it. We work with Volunteer and Information Center. We do cooking classes with the Extension Office. We do Moms and Mentor classes. We do as many classes as we can. Obviously, COVID's put a damper on that. But in the new building, we will have a complete conference room to do these classes. We will have separate office spaces to do these classes. It's just a dream to think about, and we can't wait to find some sort of normal.
There were a few questions in the chat. Cindy Burton asked, when you were talking about the financials, if those families were duplicated or unduplicated.
In financials?
Yes, whenever you were on the financial slide. Or Cindy, if you're on, if you want to ask your question.
I was just wondering if those were, I guess, trips to the food pantry, or were those actually the number of families just counted one time, or they counted multiple times in the year?
There are some doubles in there, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And
but
next,
our financials are only one. Yeah.
And Dawn was wondering, what's your capital campaign goal?
So right now, our projected cost of the, we don't know the exact projected cost of the building. I think we've got a couple of capital campaign members on here if they want to jump in. Right now, we are still kind of working on a goal. Look, I'm like reaching. Bill, I know you're on here.
I am, and the goal is still in progress, but we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $600,000 for the building, $195,000 for the furnishings, and then we're having discussions about the creation of an endowment account that will be part of the capital campaign, so that to ensure sustainability. And ongoing, a portion of ongoing funding, but the actual amount is still a work in progress, but those are the approximate numbers.
Any other questions for Ms. Kelsi?
Hey, Amber, can I make a comment that relates to Kelsi and to some extent Christian Community Outreach, but really is directed at the student ambassadors?
Sure.
So student ambassadors, it's awesome, I think, for all of us to have you back. So thank you so much for joining us again. I will say that Alex Cottle earlier referenced that he was a student ambassador. Kelsi Dunham that just made this amazing presentation about phenomenal mission in this community. Just literally a handful of years ago was a student ambassador and was not sitting right where you're sitting, but was sitting at tables just down the street. But anyway, if you all talked about going great places for college, but if you come back to Henderson, we want you to be like Alex and be like Kelsi and come back and help change the face of your community, like both of them are doing every single day. And as you just saw by Kelsi's presentation, knocking it out of the park with her service to our community. So anyway, we're glad you're here, and we hope you'll come back to Henderson and be a part of us permanently.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for having us.
Well, I do have a kind of an announcement for you, Kelsi, and your mom. You guys are going to be our April month of service organization. So you'll get with me and let us know what we can do. But we've been trying to figure out when we're going to have you, and we thought April would be the perfect month, and it just happened that you got set for this week. So I'm excited that we're able to tell you on this Zoom.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, we're excited. So more information to follow, and any other questions or comments? All right, just a quick shout out to all the board members who have been handing out all our grant checks to all the different organizations, non-for-profits who received the grants. I got to go to Matthew 25 and see Miss Cindy yesterday, which was awesome, great place. So thank you for all the board members doing that. Watch our Facebook account so you can see all the pictures, and there's still a few coming up in the next few days. So if that's it, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.